Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to go over my top 10 one and done eyeshadows. So before I get into this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Like this video if you like it, and let me know your favorite one and done eyeshadows below because I'm always looking for new ones. Just to go into a bit of background, I love a one and done shadow one because they are so super simple. You can just apply them all over the lid and you're good to go. That's your one shadow essentially. And I especially love them now as I have gotten so much more laid back with my makeup routine, especially working from home. I just want to do something really quick but still look nice and put together. These shadows are also great because you can, if you do want to amplify the look, you can go in with any matte shadows and kind of jazz it up a bit if you are going out for the night or something like that. But I even love these one and done looks for the evening as well because I think you just look so naturally glam and it's a bit more of an effortless look, and I'm just such a fan of that. So I love one and done shadows, and let's just get straight into it before I blab too much. I'm going to start with the cream shadows that I have. So my number one, again, if you have seen my channel before, you probably won't be surprised by this one. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize. This shade that I have here is Star Gold, but all the shades that in her formula are amazing. I have a bunch of them. But this is just a really nice formula. It's really moussey, and they're so super pigmented, but they blend out effortlessly. I really enjoy these cream shadows because they aren't overly metallic, so there's no glitter chunks or anything. They just leave a beautiful sheen on the eyes. So you get kind of that glossy eye effect, which I'm such a big fan of because, again, it doesn't look so dramatic. It just gives you that nice supermodel glow, I like to call it. Just really luxe and super easy to blend out. I have heard people with oily lids do have a problem with this formula. It fades away. As someone with dry skin and dry eyes, I have no problem with this. This lasts all day long. It's just such a beautiful one and done shade. And again, because this is a bit more of a smoky shade, it's a deeper bronze. It just looks a bit more, I don't want to say dramatic on the eyes, but it does add, it's nice in the evening because it is a bit deeper. This is also really great as a base if you want to layer any of the powder shadows on top just for a bit of extra pizzazz, and it really grabs a hold of any powder product you put on top. But again, just a really nice one and done shadow. I really like this formula, as I said, really easy to blend and buff out, and you just need the smallest amount of product, which is why I still have so much of this left, but it's just a great one. I know that she's changed the name of these, but love this formula, love this eyeshadow, so definitely a favorite. The next on my list is the Mercier Caviar Eye Stick. The shade that I picked is Copper just because this is truly my favorite of all the eye sticks that she has. I have a few other ones, but I just like this one. So this is the shade Copper. It's a really nice light gold shade. I wouldn't say it's overly copper, what you would normally think of a copper shade, like that's more on the orange side. This is just a beautiful golden bronze, definitely more on the warm side though, and it's just really beautiful. This one is definitely a bit more intense than the Charlotte Tilbury one. It has a bit more, I don't even want to say glitter, but there is a bit more pizzazz to it. There's a bit more of a sheen and a shimmer. And yeah, this one's just super easy to apply as well because it's in the stick formula, so you just apply it onto the eyes, blend it out with a brush, and it just looks gorgeous. This is also really nice in the waterline as well. But I just love this for a one and done. It really brightens my eyes and it's just very pretty. More of a metallic sheen, I guess I'd say, but these are my two favorite formulas for a one and done. And again, this is really good for layering as well. Great for travel because it's just in a stick. Super easy to blend out. Very long wearing, which I love as well. I'd almost say it's the closest thing to waterproof, but really good if you're looking for something long wearing, quick and easy that's great for travel. Moving on to the powder shadows. This one, again, won't be a surprise if you have watched my channel. This is the Chantecaille Luminescent Eye Shade. The shade I chose out is Lion, but any shade that calls to you in this formula is beautiful. You can see I have hit pan on this and it is almost gone. I have run pretty much 3/4 of the way through. This formula is just so nice. It's a really intense shimmer. So this one does have a bit more glitter to it than the other two I mentioned. You can actually see glitter particles, but the sheen that it gives on the eyes is so stunning. You can use this wet and dry, and it just gives such a pretty, again, you can wear it in the daytime for just that one and done look. You can make it a bit more evening glam if you apply it wet because it is more intense. But I just love this formula. I will say there is a little bit of fallout with this because there is a bit of glitter in this formula. So you might want to do your eyes first. That's just what I do personally. But it's just a gorgeous golden bronze shade that is perfect. It's kind of similar to the Laura Mercier Copper, just a bit deeper and not as light. It's a bit deeper in tone, but definitely more of a metallic shift in this one. But I just love it. So pretty. Obviously, I love it because I've hit pan and run basically through it, and I have a backup of that. So the next Chantecaille shadow I want to go over, these are the Mermaid eye colors, and this is in the shade Copper. I really, really love this formula. So this isn't as metallic as the Luminescent Eye Shades. It has less of a sparkle to it, but it goes on almost like a cream shadow would. It's super, super pigmented, very smooth on the eyes because, again, there's no glitter chunks in it. It's just such a beautiful formula, and I really enjoy this shade because, again, similar to the Laura Mercier Copper, it's not super copper like you would think a copper shadow would be, which is more on the orange side. This is just a beautiful gold. I'd almost say it's a bronze and has a bit of a taupe to it. It's very interesting, but it's very beautiful because of the sheen that it gives. And again, not chunky at all. Very long wearing, very easy to apply. I probably wouldn't use this shade wet. I think it's just best applied with fingers or a brush, but it's just very pigmented, gives such a lovely sheen. I feel like I'm going to describe all these products in the same way, so I hope it's not too repetitive. But this just looks beautiful on the eyes. Really great for a day-to-day. Like, I'd probably use this more in the daytime because, again, there's no glitter in it. It's just gorgeous. All over the lid. Blend it out. Apply your mascara and you're good to go. Just lovely. I definitely want to pick up more shades in this one. And then the last single shadow I have to mention, this is the Bobbi Brown Luxe eyeshadow in the shade Heat Ray. I never, ever hear anyone talk about these, but this shadow is beautiful. The formula of this is really amazing too, and this is another wet to dry formula, so I love to wear this in the daytime. Just again, applying it with my fingertips, all over the eye. It's very pigmented and gives a really gorgeous sheen, and there is a bit of glitter in this. It's definitely not as glittery as the Luminescent Eye Shades from Chantecaille, but it gives a very beautiful sparkle effect. So this is really pretty, like in the evening time, if you want to glam it up a bit, you can just apply this wet all over the lid. But it's so stunning. It looks gorgeous on the eyes because it has that beautiful light reflection to it because of the sparkle. But again, it's not overly sparkly. I just really love the formula. It's very smooth, nice, richly pigmented, and again, just a great one and done shadow. If you guys haven't tried this out, I really recommend it. They have other shades in the line, but this formula is just really great. It's kind of that baked formula, but it's lovely. And again, I never hear anyone mention these shadows, but it's gorgeous. So those are all my single shadows. You can obviously tell what kind of colors I like, more on the bronze gold side. I definitely am someone who just likes neutrals because that's just kind of my lifestyle. I don't really like bright colors. So these are all great, highly recommended. Let's get into the palettes now. All right, my favorite palettes that contain my favorite one and done shadows. The first one is a Charlotte Tilbury Quad. This is a luxury palette, and this is in the color story, The Queen of Glow. So my favorite thing to do actually with this palette is to mix all three of the shimmer shades together. So I just go back and forth on my finger, just into each color like once, and apply it onto the lid that way. This formula is really beautiful because, again, it feels like the Tom Ford Wet to Dry eyeshadows. It's ultra pigmented, a really buttery formula, and I love the sheen it gives. Again, very pigmented, so you just need a little bit of product, and I really like that color combination just all mixed together. Obviously, you can use these on their own. Each of these applies really beautifully as a one and done shadow. Again, I really like that it's not overly glittery like some of her pop shades. They're just super glittery, and they don't have much of a base pigment to them. But this is just pure pigment and gives a really nice sheen, long lasting. It's just a really nice formula. So really love this for a one and done. Another Charlotte Tilbury Quad that I love is the Copper Charge palette. So again, I like to mix all three of these together. I also really like just this. I think it's it's just a pop shade, but it's different from her other pop shades because her normal pop shades are ultra glittery. This one is a bit more subdued, so it does have glitter in it, but it has more of a base pigment, so you will get a bit more color payoff. But again, I just really like mixing all three of these together and applying on the lid because I think it gives a gorgeous color. Or I just like to use this one in particular on its own. And you can see it's a bit more of a soft sheen. Like you definitely can see the glitter in it, but you get a color base to it, which I think is really nice for a one and done. Sometimes, like it's just a great one and done shadow. It makes my eye color pop, but it's not too glittery. So this is another favorite. Okay, I have eyeshadow all over me now, but moving on to just my last three. These are some Tom Ford quads, obviously expensive, but both of the palettes that I chose for the one and done, for my favorite one and dones, they're the wet to dry formula, which is my favorite formula from Tom Ford. You can tell it's the wet to dry formula because it has the TFs in it. I've pretty much gone through all the TFs. So my favorite one and done shadows, and these are in this palette, excuse me, are, oh my god, okay, well, I've lost one of them. That is not good, but I can glue it back in. It's fine. It's all good. Anyways, that was sad. So my favorite one and done shadows are the first two shades in this eyeshadow quad. They're absolutely beautiful. Oh, they're just so buttery and smooth, ultra pigmented off just one swipe. Just look at that color payoff. It's lovely. And again, I really love this formula because it gives you a beautiful sheen. So it gives you more of that, like, you know, when Victoria's Secret models just have that lovely sheen across their eyes. I mean, I don't even know if those shows are still on anymore. I remember that makeup look was always sought after because they just had that beautiful glow to their eyes where it almost gave kind of like a wet glow. It was a bit more dewy, very much a sheen and not a glitter. I just like that for a one and done because I just think it's very easy to blend and I just think it looks the most flattering on the eyes. But I just love these two shades. They're absolutely gorgeous. Like, look at that shine. Beautiful sheen, not too glittery. This one, yeah, there's basically, it's just a very soft, there's definitely a bit of glitter in these compared to like the cream shadows I mentioned, but it's very soft, very subtle. I just think this formula is beautiful and these are great one and done shadows. And then this is my all-time favorite Tom Ford quad. I've mentioned it so many times on my channel, but this is the Suspicion Eye Quad. I have Hip Pan in two of the shades, the top two ones. And again, I like to mix all three of these colors together, and I just think it gives the most beautiful golden bronze shade. Obviously, I like to wear them on their own. Like, you can use this as just a beautiful one and done shade, and it really adds a beautiful brightness to your eyes because it is more of a light gold. This one's just the most perfect bronze shade, kind of like a champagne bronze. And then this is a lovely copper, definitely more on the orange side compared to the other copper shades I mentioned, but I'll just show you what these look like all mixed together. So there's a swatch there. Hopefully you can see. Again, it's that wet to dry formula. So even when applied dry, it goes onto the lids, ultra pigmented, very soft, smooth, and buttery. It just adds a beautiful glow to the eyes, which I love. Love the color story on this palette. It just makes for the perfect one and done shadow. So highly recommend the Suspicion palette if you've ever thought about it. And then the last one on my list, and I did check, this was limited edition originally, but then she kept on re-releasing it, and it is on her website and also at Sephora. So I don't know, and it doesn't say limited edition on her website, so I'm just gonna go with the fact that it's not. This is the Pat McGrath, one of the quads that she came out with. This is the iconic Illumination. I love this color story, first of all, just a palette in general, but this champagne shade and this bronze shade are my favorite one and done shadows in this palette. I like to, again, mix them together. I'm a mixer, but oh, just look at that pigmentation. So this is definitely more intense than the Tom Ford wet and dry formula, and also more intense than the Charlotte Tilbury. It's even more richly pigmented. The bronze shade definitely gives more of a sheen. There's no glitter chunks. The champagne gold has glitter in it. There are like definite glitter chunks, but her glitter formula is just so pretty on the eyes, and I never think it looks obnoxious or cheap or anything. Like, it's a very luxurious glitter formula. So again, you can feel a bit of that grittiness in it, but on the eyes, it just really adds a nice sheen. So I love these two as one and done shadows. They're gorgeous. Yeah, the formula is just beautiful. Again, this one has just a bit more glitter than the Tom Ford Wet to Dry, but it's absolutely stunning as a one and done eyeshadow. Definitely something that I use quite often. And yeah, I'm sorry if I feel like all the formulas I chose are pretty similar. So my description was pretty much the same for everything, just because that's a formula that I look to for my one and done shadows. I obviously have a color story that I really enjoy for my one and done shadows as well. And I honestly just like to mix everything together. I'm a mixer. I want to get use out of my eyeshadows, so I don't mind if I mix things together and come up with color combinations that I enjoy to wear. But again, I love a one and done shadow. Super easy. Anyone can do it. It's mistake proof. You can wear it in the daytime. You can wear it at night. I just feel like it's a very gorgeous look on anyone. So again, hopefully that wasn't too repetitive. So again, I will stop talking now because I feel like I just described the same eyeshadow over and over. But I hope you guys enjoyed my favorite one and done shadows. Again, if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it. Like this video and leave me your favorite one and done shadows, because I would love to mix it up if you have different formula suggestions, if you have different color suggestions, or even just different item suggestions, because I'm always on the lookout for new one and done shadows. I could have talked about way more, but I just wanted to do my top 10 because, again, I felt like I just described the same shadow over and over and used the same verbiage. So anyways, that is it for today's video, and I will see you in my next one.